If you think about it, guys, we are at the final evolution of sampling. We went from vinyl sampling, which transformed into CD sampling, which transformed into digital sampling with MP3s and WAV files and FLAC files and OGG files and everything else. And now we're at the final boss of sampling called AI generated samples. So if you're not familiar, Suno is a company that just took this to a completely different level. We've been making beats with this all week long because it's so inspirational as a sampling tool, and you guys can get creative with it. So I have so many samples in here, it's overwhelming. So I'm just gonna play some random samples from our big bucket of stuff that we actually hit the like button on. So I'm literally gonna click on random things and whatever it is. So it could do G-Funk, it could do New Jack Swing, it could do really unique stuff, even 80s stuff.
Who's got the feeling, got the bass to the who's got the feeling, got the bass, 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 bass. Break it down a little short, break it down a little short, break it down a little short, break it down.
It even has this like Nipsey Hussle type vibe. That's so hard. I feel like we need to sample this. This is hard. So let's flip these samples into a beat using FL Studio. So, I mean, it can go crazy. Actually, let's create something new just for this video, just so you guys can see. So for example, I love using the Suno Studio to really blend and create unique generations. But even if you don't have Suno Studio, we could generate some stuff. Let's go to the home page here. Let me see how to get back to the home page. And on the left side, it says create. Let's create something. Let's give it lyrics too, so that it has something to actually say. So let's say, I think that's about it. Okay, so the cool thing about Suno is you don't need to know a bunch of music words. You could just like type basic stuff and then you'll be fine. You don't need to have a PhD in music to make good stuff in here. Okay, so let's generate that. And I'm trying to think of some other style. So I want female voice, let's do R&B. And let's add the keyword ethereal just to see what it creates. I'm curious if it will slow it down or not. And then I'll add the word slow. And I'll even put, I've noticed that it's a difference when I put black soul versus just soul, like Southern soul, because I want a very like soul type vibe, but so you have to put black soul, I found. So let's put black soul. All right, so the cool thing is you could generate all this stuff in like milliseconds of time, which is crazy. All right, so let's hear the first ideas that it has here. And this is exactly what I was hoping the vibe would be. Let's go. This is an infinite sample crate, you guys. All right, so I'm gonna save this one. We can make a trap beat out of here. We can make a boom bap. There's so many things we could do with the sample. So that one's definitely getting sampled. Let's see what's these other ones. They knew exactly what I was aiming for. This is the crazy thing, is I could read your mind almost. Let's just hear what these R&B ones sound like. This is a Drake beat waiting to happen right here. Yeah, let's make two beats today. Drake beat and then like a Nipsey Hussle beat. Crazy. And the cool thing is you don't even need to learn the keys to give it, like F minor, A major, and all this. It knows exactly what to do.
In the night, it's always dawn. From the morning till midnight on.
Man, that's good. I'm telling you, you guys are going to generate so many good samples. The problem becomes which one to choose, because they're all going to be fire. Man, these are all crazy. So talk about vocal accents for you guys as beats. Talk about, man, you have so much working material here. And you can always save these voice types. Sorry, y'all, I'm screaming over here. You can save these voice types as what they call personas. So if you like a voice, you could just click here on the three dots and go to create make persona, and that will save that style of voice for you. So if you like that voice, you could use it as one of these things on the left side as a persona in your prompt. So we'll generate in that style of voice. This is crazy. No, this is the sample. What the F? Bro, this is so hard. Bro, that is the one right there. What? Man, every day I use this. Promise to God, you guys, this. Every day I'm like, well, people get tired of me talking about Suno Studio. Then I'm like, maybe one day I'll get tired of it. Then I use Suno Studio or Suno in general. And then I'm like, what? It blows my mind every time. Because you think you may get used to it or something, but it's so spectacular. Version 5, that it is like, it feels like you're going to a record store, that it's a digital record store, and it just has infinite vinyls. Let me load this into my FL. All right, so now we got these loaded up in FL Studio. I have what I do is I keep a big folder of samples. That way I can just have all the generations in one folder. Okay, so we have a lot of stuff in this folder. So I think the song was called In the Night. Here it is. So let me find that sample that really caught our ear. I want to start with the one that caught my ear first, because I don't want to lose that vibe. Now I forget which one it was. Hold on, I think it was this one. Okay, so it goes da-da-da-da-da. Okay. Here it is. But the question is how we're gonna chop this. Now, normally I would just run to Serato, but I want to chop this up as if we were, let's do this in slice. So let's open this up. We're gonna right click, open in slice. We're gonna make this full screen and we're gonna close out the browser. So I'll show you guys how to chop. Now the issue you guys are gonna have is there's no transients. There's no like 1, 2, 3. There's nothing to count. So let me see. So we might have to just visually chop this one because there are no transients really outside of these like sharp points here. Okay, so this is gonna be a little tedious, but let's hit M to add a marker, hit enter. So M enter adds a marker. All right, so we're gonna move this marker. And we're gonna assume this is a downbeat, even though not technically the downbeat. Let's just click here, hit M, enter. Again, this might be easier to do in the playlist actually. Now I'm actually doing it because there are no transients, so it'd be smarter to use the slice tool. Okay, anyway, let's go to song mode. Okay, now we're gonna zoom in, grab the slice tool. We're gonna hit, Alt. In the new FL Studio, you don't have to hit Alt Shift, but in the old FL, you would hit Alt Shift. So just hit Alt and then left click. So now we're gonna count the music. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, slice, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, slice, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, slice, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, and slice, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, slice. I don't think we need the lyrics, we just needed the beginning. Let's check the ending here. Okay, this is a dope one shot. We could use that as a bass. Look, we got a one shot out of here. This is dope. And we got little vocal chops here, a little accent we could use. And we got a lot of samples here. This is crazy. I want to sample that one shot bass at the end too, even though it has a vocal over it. It might be hard to sample because it has that. We'll filter it. Okay, so we have a lot of work. Okay, so first thing I'm gonna do is create one shots. So in this record, we have a bass here. Click here, we're gonna make this unique as a sample. double click, we're gonna, I think we don't have to do anything actually. We could just right click here, rename this bass. All right, so now if I play this with my MIDI controller, it will play notes. As you guys hear, there's a choir over top. So we need to go to the, oh, you know what? We need to load this as a sample. So let's right click, open a new sampler so that we have a little bit more control. I didn't realize that was an audio. Anyway, let's call this bass. We can go here. Let's give it an envelope here. We want to turn the whole parameter up. Turn everything else down. If you're in FL Studio 25, you can click here and save as, so you don't have to keep doing that. So this is what it sounds like if I play different notes. Okay, but it will be out of key depending on the song. So what we're gonna do is filter this with a low pass. So it's just the bass. So now we're gonna have that authentic kind of 90s vibe because it technically has chord information still on it. But if it's too much, we could always just not do this. Okay, so now we have all that. Let's go back to the playlist here. We need to find this other one shot, make it unique as a sample, double click, save, or excuse me, open in sampler. Let's find this. Let's rename this bass 2. Same thing. Go to the envelope here. Give it a hold parameter. For now, I'm just going to let it have the harmony on there. But we're probably going to filter that out. Okay. And what else do we need? So now we have these vocal accents. So let's make these unique as a sample. So I'll do this for each sample. I don't want to have you guys sit here and watch me do the same exact thing. All right. So now we have all those one shots separated. We could change the key. Okay, we could use those however we want. Okay, and then what we're gonna do though is use these 1, 2, 3, 4 chops. We have about 5 chops here. We're gonna use only 4, and 1 is an interchangeable chop. So here's a little shortcut. Firstly, we need to separate all these and time stretch them. So let's go to Tools, Macros. Let's go to Switch All Audio Clip Channels to Stretch Mode. Switch all to stretch mode. And what this will do is basically, if we double click in here, go to mode, it will keep it on stretch mode. Stretch mode basically allows us to keep the same tonality. If we change the BPM, it won't go quirky and start moving around. Nextly, I learned this from Infinite. We got to hit Shift Q to quantize these samples to the grid. So highlight all your samples, hit Shift Q. That will quantize the audio to the grid. Shout out to Infinite for that tip. And what else do we have to do? We need to double click on each sample. I learned this from Av McCree. Actually, before we do this, we need to click on each sample, going to make unique as a sample. I didn't realize I did not do that. So let's do that now. I make unique as a sample so that they're all treated as a different sample and not one big song. Okay, now let me double check to make sure they're still in stretch mode. They are. Okay, so double click on the sample, right click and select the amount of bars. In this case, I think we counted 2 bars. So let's right click, go to 2 bars. Now, 140 BPM, 2 bars is not 2 bars, it's 4 bars. So depending on the type of beat we're making, it will either be 2 or 4 bars. It just depends on the tempo. All right, so 2 bars again at 140 will sound fast. So let's see what kind of tempo Nipsey Hussle would do. I would now probably 87. So we're gonna do 2 bars at 87 BPM. All right, so this first chop, we're just gonna eyeball it, make it 1 bar. So this would be our little intro drop. See how it sounds quirky? Okay, so that's why BPM matters, because now this doesn't fit. So we need to change our snap to grid to a beat and make this. Here's how you fix it. Go to the audio clips in the top left, click this little left right arrow, and just left click to drag this to half the size. Now turn it back off or else it will mess with your audio. All right, so let's get that boom, tap, boom, boom, tap, boom, tap, boom, boom, tap. Let's get that drum going. Let's see what kind of drums they would use. So Nipsey Hussle is known for his hard drums. Let's go to busyworksbeats.com/blueprint. Let's look under the drum kits here and let's go to kicks, and we need to find a kick. So I have a lot of kicks in here. I think this one would be good for his style. All right, so let's open that. And we need an acoustic snare. So let's go to drumbroker.com. I have a special link where you guys can save, I think it's 10% if you use my link. And it is an affiliate link because we partnered up with them basically so you guys can save some money. All right, so click that link below to go to the drum broker. Let's look for, we need somewhere, I think J Dilla has a snare in here that goes crazy. This is called Saucy Loops, J Dilla. Let's go to drum one shot, let's go to snare. Here's the snare. This rim shot is just hard. Something in what snare would sound like Nipsey Hussle. That kind of snare. Yeah, like this, very short, truncated. So we're gonna try different versions. All right, let's get this kick going. Let's turn the metronome on. We're gonna record with the MIDI controller. All right, so I forgot the sample at the end here. We're gonna mute this. This is more of a variation. Actually, we don't need that one because that's where the lyrics kick in. So that was, man, I meant to cut that out. Anyway, so let's see. Let's hit Alt Q to quantize the drums. Take the MPC swing off of it. Actually, let's keep the MPC swing. I kind of like the vibe. Let's loop this. So let's hit Control, left click. Let's add the snare. Let's loop record and add a snare. One. All right, RP Nipsey Hussle. Brandon Nanny, but I'm outstanding. On the corner, he was outstanding. 500 spokes, 6 round the road, 6 bringing up the go. Let's add this hi-hat. We got the hi-hat in pocket. This is such a vibe. So let's create sections here. Okay, so Nipsey Hussle beats are pretty simple. So in the second half here, what I'm going to do is group all the samples. So let's go to our channel rack here. We're gonna go to unsorted. These are your one shots and your, actually, no, I forgot we have audio, never mind. We're gonna go to all, and we're gonna double click, hit Control L, send everything to the mixer. It will name it for us. And what we need to do in the mixer is create a new track called sample or samples. Hit Alt left or right to move it around. We're gonna hit Control, highlight all these samples, and right click and put them in the sample group. That way they can all go through one thing where we could add effects. All right, so what I want to do is add a filter. Debating if I want to add a high pass filter or maybe let's do a band pass because I want to get rid of their bass to add our own bass. So let's do a high pass filter and a low pass filter. This is called a band pass when you combine the two. And let's do something like this. So we just want to get rid of their bass mainly. Let's first do that. Okay, so that's very faint. So we still have high frequencies. They're just very turned down. All right, let's right click, create an automation clip. And we need to left click to drag this to the very beginning so that it has a starting point. We're going to turn it off and turn it on by right clicking to add a node. Okay. And then right click to add notes to turn it back off at the end. So here's where we can add our own instruments, or we could just keep it very dull. So the main thing I want to do is add our own Reese bass in here. I think I have a Reese bass. I'm trying to think, where is my... Oh, you know what? I have a pack coming out soon for you guys. Let me open it up, actually. It is in Analog Lab. Where are you? Analog Lab. Now, there's a Reese bass in here. Let me find out. All right, so I have a couple options of Reese bass. We're going to use this one from the Euphoria pack here. Let's record this in. So first I got to figure out what key we're in. Let's open up a tool called Scaler. I use version 2. They're on Scaler 3 now, but I like version 2. It's just exactly what I need it to be. All right, so we got to figure out the key of the song. And basically, you just want to play notes on your keyboard until they match the vibe of the song. Let's record these. So we're in the key of B flat minor, technically. I just needed to know the general notes. Okay, so now we can go back, hit Control L, send that bass to the mixer, and now I can figure out the root note. Just C. It's either C or F. It's actually F. All right, so now I'm just gonna kind of freestyle up and down the scale here to create a vibe. Man, all we need is bars. I might even hop in the booth and freestyle a little bit. Man, this is such a vibe. So all we got to do is just I'm debating quantizing the hi-hats. I might quantize them. Let's hit Alt-Q, quantize these hi-hats. So there's a little swing on the quantize. It just has a vibe to it. I'm using an MPC swing pack. Let's just turn the hi-hats down a little bit. Man, now we just need to kick the thump a little bit. Let's run it from the beginning because this is a whole vibe. All right, so I'm motivated to hop in this booth, record a little freestyle. So I might write some rhymes, but I'm gonna pause the video for you guys so you don't have to watch me go back and forth. All right, so I gave y'all guys like 4 bars. That's all I had. So let's run this back. My bad, y'all.
The marathon continues. Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
Let's also mix this a little bit.
In fact, hard work, dedication, don't mean nothing with no legislation. I had patience, started waiting. All I needed was my confirmation. Yeah, you know. Reputation, started waiting. Now a nigga blue like detonation. Look, all you need in this world is your money, baby girl, and your reputation. Look.
All right, so those are the bars. I tried to go in and freestyle, but it just took too long.
Hard work, dedication, don't mean nothing with no legislation. I had patience, started waiting. All I needed was my confirmation. Yeah, you know. Reputation, started waiting.
All right, so we're gonna mix this. I'm just gonna do stuff. I'm not gonna overly explain anything. I'm just gonna show you guys the process, but I won't overly explain because it just eats up a lot of time. So let's just mix this beat and get the vocal into one cohesive thing.
The marathon continues. Yeah. In fact, hard work, dedication, don't mean nothing with no legislation. I had patience, started waiting. All I needed was my confirmation. Yeah, you know. Reputation, started waiting. Now a nigga blue like detonation. Look, all you need in this world is your money, baby girl, and your reputation. Look, hard work, dedication, don't mean nothing with no legislation. I had patience, started waiting. All I needed was my confirmation. Yeah, you know. Reputation, started waiting. Now a nigga blue like detonation. Look, all you need in this world is your money, baby girl, and your reputation. Look, hard work. I had patience.
What I'm gonna do now is add a little reverb. I just need to solo the vocal so I could just hear the small details of it.
Hard work, dedication, don't mean nothing with no legislation. I had patience, started waiting. All I needed was my confirmation. Reputation, started waiting. Now a nigga blue like detonation. Look, all you need in this world is your money, baby girl, and your reputation. Look, hard work, dedication.
All right, so again, we're not trying to make this the craziest mix in the world, but I do need to hear some subtleties in the vocal, like the sub frequencies I wasn't really paying attention to. Let's add, I usually don't like EQing out the lows because my voice is low, so if I EQ out the low, I'm EQing out my entire voice. So that's why I don't really address the lows right away.
Hard work, dedication.
All right, so let's send this to the reverb.
Hard work,
That's too big of a reverb.
hard work, dedication, don't mean nothing with no legislation. I had patience, started waiting. All I needed was my confirmation. Reputation, started waiting. Now hard work, dedication, don't mean nothing with no legislation. I had patience, started waiting. All I needed was my confirmation. Yeah, you know. Now a nigga blue like detonation. Look, all you need in this world is your money, baby girl, and your reputation. Look, hard work, dedication, don't mean nothing with no legislation. I had patience, started waiting. All I needed was my confirmation. Yeah, you know. Reputation, started waiting. Now a nigga blue like detonation. Look, all you need in this world is your money, baby girl, and your reputation. Look, hard work, dedication, don't mean nothing with no legislation. I had patience, started waiting. All I needed was my confirmation. Yeah, you know. Reputation, started waiting. Now a nigga blue like detonation. Look, all you need in this world is your money, baby girl, and your reputation. Look, hard work, dedication, don't mean nothing with no legislation. I had patience, started waiting. All I needed was my confirmation. Yeah, you know. Reputation, started waiting. Now a nigga blue like detonation. Look,
Right now, let's add
All you need,
the knock to the drums.
hard work, dedication. Don't mean nothing with no legislation. I had patience.
My bad, y'all. I had to log in to use the plugin.
Hard work, dedication. Don't mean nothing with no legislation. I had patience. Had patience. Started waiting. All I needed was my confirmation. Yeah, you know. Reputation. Started waiting. Now nigga blue like detonation. Look. All you need in this world is your money, baby girl, and your reputation. Look, hard work. Yeah, 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 you know. Yeah. Now nigga blue like detonation. Look, all you need in this world is your money, baby girl, and your reputation. Look, hard work, dedication.
So we're adding that 300 hertz to the side just to widen up the perception of this track. All right, so now I'm gonna basically see what sounds better, the mid or the side. So I like both a narrow sound and a wide sound. So it just depends on what you guys want sonically. We really got a vibe on this one. Let's run it back.
The marathon continues. Yup, yup, yup. In fact.
All right, so we're gonna have to automate the beginning of the track because it's just too loud. So let's automate some kind of EQ. Control Z that. Oh my gosh, now it's like stuck here.
The marathon continues. Yup, yup, yup. In fact, hard work, dedication, don't mean nothing with no legislation. I had patience, started waiting. All I needed was my confirmation. Reputation, started waiting. Now a nigga blue like detonation. Look, all you need in this world is your money, baby girl, and your reputation. Look.
I'm gonna set up a sidechain on the kick and the bass so that it thumps a little bit.
The marathon continues. The marathon continues. Yup, yup, yup. In fact, hard work, dedication, don't mean nothing with no legislation. I had patience, started waiting. All I needed was my confirmation. Reputation, started waiting. Now a nigga blue like detonation. Look, all you need in this world is your money, baby girl, and your reputation. Look.
So let's add a little more high end to the kick, clipping it.
The marathon continues. Yup, yup, yup. In fact, hard work, dedication, don't mean nothing with no legislation. I had patience, started waiting. All I needed was my confirmation. Detonation, look. All you need in this world is your money, baby girl, and your reputation. Look. Hard work, dedication, don't mean nothing with no legislation. Had patience, started waiting. All I needed was my confirmation. Reputation, started waiting. Now a nigga blue like detonation. Look, all you need in this world is your money, baby girl, and your reputation. Look.
That That one came out crazy. Let's start up the Drake track.